beyond that, like they didn't even manage to get more than 10 points, I think, like in the subsequent rounds. So I mean, it was just like all the circumstances that kind of came together really well in that particular round. Specifically, the circle landing on Brasilia there really kind of made the final circle fight so chaotic, and somehow Farang, took advantage of multiple levels of verticality in order to gain a huge advantage in that fight. But will that kind of lightning strike twice again on a map as big as Purgatory? I doubt so, though, as teams are already hot dropping each other here. Look at Expand and FR. Are just not really resting on their laurels here, even though they got the Booyah last time. They're just literally thinking that, yep, this is going to be the confidence we need now to take on the big boys here, because Expand takes control over the bottom floor. First Raiders take control over the second floor.
MDH is nearby. This is scary.
Oh boy.
They hear all this happening. Uh-oh. Ikao just dropped down on the first floor. Lozzy having them locked in as well, and what was that flick Lozzy doing? Expand dirty! Incredible response from our Indonesian superstars, but maybe it would not matter if MDH crashes the party. First Raiders able to bring their friends back up. 2 kills so far. Expand having a very, very poor start. It seems like the lightning that strikes twice is Expand not having a game at all. Cobra able to win that 1v1, but he doesn't really have time to get that mad kit unless he can dodge all the shots. This guy puts on his dancing shoes using the time turner to buy a bit of space, but ends up getting knocked out anyways. MDH is the one that shows up. Expand, turning tail, they are running away, keeping themselves in the round, but very, very much bruised.
Well, the thing is, MDH is not waiting to try to flush out the first Raiders, though, because after taking out X-Roy, now they're rapidly moving to try to surround the building that first Raiders is currently holed up in. You can see NP on the lower side, whereas like the other members of MDH as well on the northern side, they're just trying to take control over the ground floor that first Raiders isn't on right now in order to keep them holed up in that first floor. And this is going to make things kind of bad here for first Raiders, because they're going to be out of options very soon on where they want to run out. They're just probably going to have to brute force their way out of this. Oh, but grenades are already coming into play, though, as the skylight is actually quite wide open. That allows Don't Cry to throw a couple more grenades their way as the rest of MDH now storms up the staircase now, trying to find the other members of First Raiders. First Raiders fighting back right now. Managed to get 2 knockdowns here, but Don't Cry is not going to be able to hold out for too long, though. He can't really find the last one. He finds it, though, just in the nick of time. It takes out Lozzy to allow MDH to win this fight against First Raiders Eclipse.
Oh, the last one, Mustang. Don't Cry got a collateral with those shotgun slug shots. First Raiders Eclipse almost put out one of the best openings that they've had. Contrary to that, Expand being the first team to get knocked out, Team Flash would be really, really happy with this turn of events. MDH getting the last laugh off of that. 6 points, 3 minutes in. And that's the start that they need. They were so close to making it on the top 6. And now this opening for them would put them even closer to that.
And that's one thing, like, I don't know whether this is going to be, a symptom of the Battle Royale genre in particular, or is it, like, something with Free Fire specifically, but this concept of, like, the third party actually being the team that has advantage is starting to rear its ugly head, I think, in some of these fights, because otherwise, it would have been a straight fight between First Raiders and Expand, but once MDH entered, not only did they wipe out Expand, but went on as well to wipe out First Raiders. It kind of tells you that maybe any kind of teams that really want to take the aggressive strategy of just going around picking fights may not be the salient thing. It's just kind of like making it more viable just to kind of sit around and wait to hear gunshots come around and just decide to go in third party that instead. Nero getting bombarded not just by the red zone, but even from Renz and Rain, literally raining bullets onto him as he tried to duck into the house. So that's a very dead member of MDH. Unfortunately, very unfortunate to get caught out in that position too, because Dewa was already set up on top of that hillside. But yeah, back to this thing about the third party. I wonder, what is going to be the best way to kind of like change incentive maybe for some of these teams, because right now it just feels like it's less advantageous for you to just go out and find fights and more like just reacting more to other people starting fights.
I suppose it's also kind of part of the strategic part of Battle Royale. Right? I think the concept is what, last man standing. So it's just do whatever you can to get there. I do feel like maybe we are seeing more of the third party thing, but not necessarily a bad thing. Right? I think this also forces team to adapt a bit more. But I do wonder. Now you got me thinking. What kind of incentive can you implement to encourage more third party, or prevent that from happening too often? I was thinking of an assist system, but that actually is technically in the game.
Technically, and I think it also gets messy when you start to add assists to the championship points, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird one.
I don't know.
Food for thought.
Food for thought for sure.
I think freefire has added elements that just make the gameplays more and more interesting, right? We started with the Vector Kimbo 2 years ago. Right now, and then at that time, people are not focusing on long-range fights. They're just running at each other. There's not much utilities, not much throwables getting used. And afterwards, we entered the era of utilities being more favored. People are starting to learn those lineups. And then now we get a balance of everything. And we had the Blue Wall Busters coming in. We had the Seekers getting used a bit more. Bonfires being thrown out. It's just good evolution, honestly. Competitive for the competitive stage.
Again, like it's not really taking away from Free Fire as a game. Really,
of course.
The criticism I was giving is just more of like just noticing this kind of pattern when it comes to the matches we've seen so far. So I wonder if there are some other methods that maybe the Free Fire development team has not considered yet. So just kind of pondering this question, really, having seen multiple third-party fights where this literally the third party is the one having seemingly the advantage in every way. I mean, not to take away as well from MDH's little victory over 2 squads in a row. I mean, they frankly deserve it, and really they're a squad that needs this kind of like victories here to catch things up. In the meantime, King of Gamers, what is going on here? VGM literally running into the middle of King of Gamers now, and King of Gamers blowing up the car and catching Vantan with his pants down. Trouble's being sent out to try to keep VGM split up completely, as Kevin now focuses attention on the other side here, where more of the members of VGM are just mostly holed up in this maze of blue walls, as they do have a member of KOG also stuck in the middle of their midst there. Bingsu now able to try to get the knockdown of that member of KOG as VGM tries to stabilize this fight here. Vantan now trying to make his way back, but Kevin is going to try to gatekeep him from the rest of this fight right now. Vantan forced to burn out even more the glue walls. Unfortunately, King of Gamers loses Kevin77. He was the last person standing, and VGM still has the full stack.
Started out very weird, but VGM had a plan. Just split the attention of KOG.
What is?
Might catch a free one. Jaboywa just casually going out on a trip. That vehicle, if he takes one more shot, it's going to go down. Oh, they're trying to find it. Oh, he gets it. Jaboywa barely making it out of sight. Exactly, playing with fire. But as long as they get out, I think it's good news for them.
Yeah, it's good news for them for sure. And I think this is another aspect of our Free Fire here that's worth talking about. It's like that long-range spread. The bullet spread is just, I think, a little bit too wide. It kind of makes like long-range battles unviable. That really kind of emphasizes more on those close quarters sort of fights. That's why you normally see things like shotguns and SMGs being more of a factor in these games compared to like the standard rifles, really, because you just prioritize a little bit more about the DPS you can get out of those weapons, and the effectiveness at close range versus long range is certainly a huge gulf when it comes to the Free Fire weapon selection. Nevertheless, VGM not resting on their laurels here, are going to try to find a way to gatekeep Flash, who are now having their backs against the wall with the blue zone already closing in. Now they're going to be desperate to try to prevent VGM from keeping them bogged up in this fight, but they can't really find a good opening here given how wide open this space is. But they will have the high ground a little bit as they continue to push VGM further and further back into the safe zone. But how many more glue walls can they afford to spend right now? Do they want to use it all just for this fight alone, or can they save some of it for the final circle?
Binsu's back is just slightly exposed. Shin gets a good shot in. VGM, now after that fight against KOG, they decided to hold it here for a while. And Team Flash might punish them though. Yanbin kind of putting a fast one on them with that McLaren, as VGM feeling a bit more constricted. Claustrophobia in an open ground. It's not really what you see every day. Both teams suffering a casualty so far. Team Flash losing Shin, Fantan going down, Yenbin in the red, and is actually taken down by Kanoho from afar. Team Flash also not looking too healthy. Bloody getting sniped. Boite once more on the ground, but it's just a collective effort from Anxiety helping VGM from afar to take down Team Flash. VGM down to 2 members, but knowing where Anxiety is, they will have to kind of take the long way to get out.
It's still massive damage done to VGM's lineup though, but then they do manage to eliminate Flash completely, so that's 4 points that are going to be very, very much savored there by this Vietnamese squad as well. Farang, in the meantime, has just only made their way to this next safe zone. Only see that the next circle is going to be a little bit far away as well. So they're going to have to continue to make the push now out into the open here. Good news for them is that there's not going to be much resistance on their way there because whoever's in front is mostly Axis, who is currently tied up with Heavy at the moment. And there's a buy point coming in nearby, so maybe Farang might be able to make use of that to get some additional equipment that they need. Specifically, I think they need a lot more throwables there because, like, Too Bad has literally 14 glue walls in his kit right now. They have plenty to use for this final fight later on.
Vantan getting caught out. Heavy getting that kill. VGM, they didn't have much time to recover. And Vantan is a good example of that. Now Boite is the one getting pushed. Gotta win this one now. Only has a pistol in hand. Heavy trying to run him down. Bensu coming in to provide a bit of backup. Tom XD, he is just right outside the building. But VGM felt like they couldn't contest this though. Trying to pinch the Tom XT. Can Tom find an isolated fight? He knows Boite is there and Binsu on the other side. It's going to be a fight of patience. VGM thinking about doubling up onto Tom, but this is going to take a lot of effort. They have that explosive in hand, but Tom XT is still pretty much alive, getting some support from his teammate. Sem9 newbie decides to join in from afar, kind of crippling Heavy a bit. Me now is out of this fight. Heavy don't really feel like they can commit fully to this now with Sem9's present in the mix, but Tom XT doesn't have much choice to work with. You gotta try and get through the members of EGM and break line of sight, and it seems like he is able to do so. Buffalo and Fudai taking a Farang off screen. This is just a messy fight. Axis somehow also a part of that.
Yeah, and in the meantime as well, another fight was breaking out between MDH and Dewa United, and MDH winning that fight by a handy mile there, almost decimating. What does that? What's from Newbie? A grenade to eliminate almost the entirety of Anxiety. Only Jaboywa is left here to try to hold his ground, but how long can he do so? And now MDH decides to get in the fray as well, catching Sem9 a little bit off guard and trying to take the high ground compared to them. Jaboywa uses this opportunity of this chaos to try to run away. He almost got spotted by Zen OP, but now Sem9 has bigger problems here because MDH still has a full stack. Sem9 only has 2. And now throwables come out. Zen OP brought down half his health. Don't Cry gets on top of the rock right now to try to take down these 2 members. Raja is going to be caught on the outside. So will Zen OP. MDH takes out Sem9 as well.
I'll tell you the worst part of what Sem9 did. Great 3-man nade. All of them stolen away by MDH. Sem9 got nothing out of that. They did all the dirty work, and MDH not only claimed that, they also took care of Sem9, and now they're about to finish off Anxiety. Kill number 15 coming through. MDH, a monstrous round for them. This is going to get them into top 6 in no time. And they are still pretty much healthy. All 4 members of MDH still going strong. VGM down to the last leg, surrounded by Heavy. And can Ban hold on to this though? Heavy are circling that compound like a bunch of sharks. Fudai just pushing forward. No quarter given to Ban. VGM are out.
Yep, and now if now Heavy is the only one to try to hold out inside the buildings here, but MDH is up on top, and they still have plenty of glue walls to use there, so no way for Buffalo to find an empty spot to shoot at.
MDH are pushing them already.
Yeah, MDH is already not just pushing the Heavy specifically, but already sending the members down to try to take control of the circle, as Axis is also doing literally the same thing, so they will collide in the middle of the trees there, while Nuke still continues to try to hold out against Heavy here. Fudai trying to keep an eye out for him as Nuke takes her out to the picket fences here. But Heavy, seeing that the Blue Zone's already closing in, decides it's going to be better to just run towards the safe zone now and try to make a pull back and see whether or not they can be able to catch Nuke as he tries to come around. Throwables are coming out as well as they will try to catch out Nuke while he is on the outside trying to dance around with the edge of the Blue Zone here. But now he's been holed up. Tom XT in the meantime getting knocked down by the Blue Zone itself. And we also have MDH providing fire from atop there that's actually killing killing Heavy's chances of getting into the safe zone.
They are delaying Heavy so well. I mean, Nuke, he even makes it into the safe zone. The strategic approach from MDH working out so well. They just need to get through Axis. This is one of the best rounds that MDH ever has, and the last obstacle, honestly, is going to be Axis. 3 more teams remain, but it feels like MDH have already won this round. They are literally at the top of the hill. They are the kings right now. Axis needs to push on forward. They got to take care of the last member from Deo United, though, and Ray needs to go, but Xac is down. Nero shows up, and Nero gets 2 in a row. Raph is also gone. Axis, not long for this round. MDH, this is their round. This is what MDH is meant to accomplish from the first place. A booyah for this team. Top 6, very, very much in sight.
Oh, that just brings a smile to my face right now. If everyone's celebrating in the gaming house here for MDH, this is great news here for the last